It was late October, just a few days before Halloween. My friends and I decided to take a camping trip deep in the woods. We wanted to get away from the stress of school and spend a weekend disconnected from everything. There were 4 of us. Me, my best friend Caleb, his girlfriend Mia, and our buddy Jake. The campsite we chose was isolated, miles away from the nearest town, surrounded by dense trees, with a small lake nearby. It seemed perfect. We arrived late in the afternoon, set up our tents, and got a fire going as the sun disappeared behind the trees. That first night was calm. We cooked hot dogs, shared ghost stories, and laughed under the stars. Around midnight, we called it a night and retreated to our tents. As I lay there, I thought I heard faint rustling outside, but I brushed it off as the wind or an animal and fell asleep. The next morning, we decided to explore the trails near the lake. As we walked along the water's edge, Jake pointed out something odd: footprints. They were bare human footprints, and they looked fresh. Why would someone be walking around barefoot in the woods? It was a good question, but none of us had an answer. We shrugged it off and continued hiking. Still, I couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that we weren't alone. That night, as we sat around the fire, the woods felt different. The air was colder, and the usual sounds of chirping crickets and rustling leaves were gone. We joked to ease the tension, but none of us could ignore the eerie silence pressing in on us. Then we heard it, a twig snapping in the distance. We all froze. Caleb grabbed the flashlight and shined it toward the trees. "Probably just a deer," he said, but his voice lacked confidence. Another snap came, closer this time. Jake grabbed another flashlight and scanned the tree line. For a moment, we saw nothing, just shadows. But then I spotted movement, a figure standing just beyond the reach of the firelight. "Hey!" I shouted, my voice shaking. The figure didn't move. It was a man, tall and thin, wearing ragged clothes. His face was obscured by shadows, but I could see that he was barefoot. He stood there, completely still, watching us. "Get out of here," Caleb yelled, holding up a stick from the fire like a weapon. The man tilted his head as if amused, then slowly backed into the darkness.